Before we get started, I want to announce our first ever Mandela Quantum Effect t-shirt design competition. We will be accepting t-shirt designs through August 2017, and we'll be voting on our favorite design the first week of September. The winner receives a free t-shirt with their winning design. T-shirts will then be made available for purchase. Proceeds will go to help fund the Jynx Effect Quantum Support Group and the Jynx Cat Channel for the affected. To enter, send your submissions by email to jynxeffect@gmail.com. All entries will be visible at the bottom of the www.jynxeffect.com homepage, and subscribers will be able to vote during the first week of September on the site. Now on to our personal stories, Chapter 10, Mandela Effect Body Changes. Story 1, AG. I have a tattoo on my right ankle, on the side of my leg, which has been there since 2005. A few weeks ago, when I was in the shower, I looked down at my feet and I noticed that the tattoo had now officially moved about an inch towards the front of my leg. I was never able to see it, just looking straight down. It's no longer on the side of my leg. It's now halfway to the front of my leg. That really shook my world. Also, the shape of my head has changed. It is now more flat and square on both sides. My eye color is changing back and forth all the time too, from green to blue, back to green again. AG. Story 2, MB. I would like to start off by saying I really like your videos and the way you present them. I can tell that you do your research. Your background in media helps a lot, but you give the facts as you see them and you let the viewers decide for themselves. They have been one of the best ones out there I have seen so far, and trust me, I've looked at numerous videos in the last few weeks since I became aware of the Mandela effect. My partner thinks that I'm going crazy or having a nervous breakdown because I'm watching all of this stuff on YouTube lately, and this is going to sound crazy, but for the last few years, strange things have been happening mostly around me, and I've just put it off as coincidence or deja vu. Not to mention medical problems. In January 2016, I was having a lot of pain in my groin and hip area, primarily on my left side, and some days I couldn't even walk. Finally, in March 2016, I had an MRI which revealed stress fractures in both my hips and my sacrum. I'm not sure if I spelled that one right. Anyways, long story short, now I've been diagnosed as having fibromyalgia, which is what doctors diagnose you of having when they don't really know what's wrong with you. Also, in the last few months, I've been having severe pain in my shoulder area and numerous other health issues. So my point to this email today is that the Mandela effect and the skeletal changes to our body are supposed to have changed. And I'm not sure about this, or I'm saying that that's what's happened to me, but starting to go, it all sounds crazy, and even more so now that I've written it into words. And if the Mandela effect is true, there's really not much we can do about it. Anyways, I've started looking into alternative medicine. Check out Dolores Cannon or Dr. Eric Pearl. Just a few interesting ideas on the whole thing. Dolores Cannon, I think, explains it best, and I'm starting to believe her outlook on it all. Things are changing everywhere and in everything. People are evolving, and we are being prepared and brought up to speed on the new world that I think is already happening. These subtle changes in movies and candy bars have always really been there, but we've never really noticed until everybody started sharing their experiences. I like to think of it as an awakening and not really a conspiracy. Don't get me wrong, I think that there are worse conspiracies like chemtrails and other things that I'm just learning about. I just wanted to share this with you. P.S. Boycotting YouTube, you go girl. I know you might think that I am some kind of crazy, and maybe I am a little, my friends say a good crazy, but I'm a normal country-at-heart woman with 2 grown sons from London, Ontario, Canada. I hope you do reply, but if you don't, that's okay too. I hope you have a great life. Thanks for reading. M. Story 3, JN. Hey, you did my personal story months ago. I'm writing you this because I need to talk to you and see if all of this makes sense to you or your group. You really cared and you made my story come to life, and I thank you again, but things have gotten worse for me. Where to start? After you aired my story, I stayed away from the Mandela effect. I stopped watching you and Dr. Lupo and even Moneybag73. I wanted to put things into the past and start a new life. With my family gone and with no answers why this all happened with me, I wanted freshness, if that makes sense. With that said, new aspects of the Mandela effect have been plaguing me and I need to get this out. First, the ear ringing has ramped up, and at times I can make out voices and music. It's like hearing an old transmission to an old TV program on VHS. I'll hear it, but I can't make it out at times. I started to go biking more, and I would ride to this one spot, an empty lot that I could see the sunset between these 2 beautiful trees. I would stop and actually remember the good days with my brother and my family before they were gone. A week ago, I went to see the sunset in this empty lot. A house sits there now with an old tire swing and mailbox. The trees are still there, but it's all changed. So I asked the owner about his house, and he told me it's been there for at least 40 years. It just magically appeared out of nowhere. I swear to God it was not there a week ago. I really don't know what to say, and there's so much more. Now it gets really scary. Along with the changes to the world around me, I'm changing. Please hear me out. All my life I was a right-handed person, and now I'm using both like it's second nature to me. Even more, my left hand than my right. I have a birthmark that I never had before. My friends are changing as well. I've known them for years and aspects of their lives are changing, and it's drastic too. One friend who never had children now has a 12-year-old son, who claims I met and had lunch with him, and I have no recollection of him. My dreams are more vivid and they feel like I'm peering into some other existence. Maybe one I should be in? I don't know. I look into the mirror and I don't see me anymore. I know we all age, but it feels so wrong. Other things that are there are numerical anomalies. That's what I call them. Saying certain numbers, waking up at certain times. But now it's gotten weirder. Things always come out right, meaning money amounts and bank amounts, budgets, and even trips to the store all coming out the same amounts or being equal. Plus, time is out of whack, like it's speeding up and going by way too fast. I want to end this by saying I feel like I'm in the middle of a convergence between two worlds. Like caught in the middle of them. Does that make sense? Could it be that I hold on to the memories of my deceased family so tight that the trauma of it is putting me there? My mom would tell me stories about her dad and how he would take her to the Statue of Liberty on Ellis Island, and that they would go to the torch and look out over the water and she would close her eyes and wish. I know because every time we saw the statue on television, she'd always bring it up. Well, now it's changed. It's on Liberty Island, and you could never go to the top. An example of a change. Or that it is a body snatcher type of thing. Instead of them replacing our bodies, they're doing it from the inside instead, like starting with our minds. Thank you so much for hearing me out and being who you are. I hope it helps your research and maybe brings new light onto the subject. God bless, and you have all my honesty, love, and respect. Jynx Cat, J. Story 4, SB. Someone said the head now sits differently on the spine. I heal the head, neck structures, all the time. It seems like less to correct. Personally, I notice much less pain in the knees, back, etc. I think maybe my skull is smaller, but too much hair for me to know for sure. The last change months ago made my frontal lobes smaller. That was about the time my technique seemed less effective too. SB. Story 5, DL. I work as a pediatric home care nurse. I was looking for more hours than the nursing agency that I work for sent me to visit a mom who was looking for a day nurse to take care of her disabled child. It's called a meet and greet, to see if I want to take on the case and to see if the mom likes me. I had considered taking this case a year or so ago, so I was meeting the mom and daughter again. I remember the little girl being about 8 years old with very yellow blonde hair. So I went to the house located near where I live, and the mom greeted me and we sat down in the dining room. The mom called her daughter down from upstairs. As I turned my head, the girl appeared coming down the steps and towards us. I was taken aback. She looked now to be about 13 to 14 years old, much taller, and her yellow blonde hair was now a dirty blonde. I focused on talking to the mom and I kept looking at the daughter. I drove home really puzzled. The next day, I saw a fellow nurse who cares for this child currently, 1 day a week, and I remarked how tall she'd gotten. This nurse just looked at me with no comment. 2 days later, I was driving by the child's house and looked over there, and there was the 8 or 9-year-old child with the yellow blonde hair that I remembered playing with her dad in the backyard. What the hell? Where did I go? I'm glad I came back to my own reality, but... DL. Although our surroundings may change, our memories may change, and our bodies may change, our essence remains the same. We are beings of light and love. We are a part of something much larger than ourselves, and we are never truly alone.